Hello everyone and welcome
Hi.
back to our videos. Today I'm continuing our kindergarten series on what your child needs to learn for kindergarten. I've already covered literacy, I've covered math, and in this video we're ending the series with writing. What does your kindergartner need to learn before they move on to the first grade? How to prepare them for first grade writing, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Gabby is 4 years old. Say hi, Gab.
Hi.
And your children that are in kindergarten can be anywhere from 4, 5, or even 6. So everything that I'm going to share in this video is for that age range. But don't shy away with using these methods with older children that maybe didn't learn writing the right way or maybe need to go back and learn those basics. So don't worry about age. Age is nothing but a number. We focus on skills. Okay, so the first thing that we do for our lessons is that we love using dry erase boards. And so she has one and I have one. And I have her start off with her name. Go ahead, Gabby, and write your name. You want them to start learning how to write their name. And at first, you're going to write it down on a board for them and have them copy it over. That way, if they've done any mistakes, they can correct them and easy erase them because it's dry erase. So for kindergarten, I start the year off with just writing their first name. And we do that for some months. And then as the year progresses, we go on to writing the last name. And because you want them to be able to leave to first grade with writing their first and last name. Also, you want to make sure that they are writing the capital letter for their first name. The first letter of their name should be capital and the first letter of their last name should be capital, just as they would be writing it in any piece of paper in school and any document. That is how they write their names, and you should always strive to create those good habits right from the beginning. They should be able to write their first and their last name, not a nickname, and write it the right way. I've seen children write their entire name in capital letters and then they get into the habit of writing it like that, and it's really hard to take that away and to untrain that. Also, you want to make sure that they're holding their pencil the right way right from the beginning, using the tripod grip. And I've made a video on creating good habits and how to hold the pencil the right way. You want to make sure that they are not grabbing their pencil the wrong way, because if they start writing it holding the pencil the wrong way, they will create and strengthen those bad habits. So Gabby already wrote her name here. As you can see, it's nice and small. When we started off the year, it was big. It was really big. And then as we went on, she started getting smaller and smaller. And since there's little tracks here, she's able to write it between those tracks. So that's really helpful as well. So we're going to go ahead and erase that, Gabby. The next part is that we work on letters. So I'll have copy me activities. That's the first thing that we do. You saw how she wrote her name. She's copying her name over. But as we go on, I also don't have her copy, and I have her write her name on her own, and she can do it on her own now. With letters, it's the same process. At first, you want to start with copy activities. So you start off with the letter. Let's write the letter A. Can you write the letter A? You want to say the letter names, not the letter sounds when you're teaching writing. Good job, Gabby. Now let's move on to the letter B. Can you write the letter B? And it's just copy me, right? As you go on, you want to start teaching both uppercase and lowercase. So let's see. Gabby, can you write your uppercase B and your lowercase b on your own? Go ahead and do it. And at first you're doing copy me, but as you progress, you want them to write it on their own. Just call out a letter and have them write it. Now let's write our lowercase b. It's normal to have reversals. So here's her writing her uppercase and lowercase b. We go on and on practicing letters A through Z this way. And at first it's copy me. She's copying me for a while. Then I'm just calling out letters. She is writing them on her own, and she's writing uppercase and lowercase. So as the same thing that we do with letters, we do with numbers as well. So I'll have her write the numbers and I'll have her copy me. Let's write the number 1. Can you write 1? Good job. Let's write 2. And you go all the way to 10. let's write the number 3. It shouldn't take very long at all. And it's fun, it's interactive. That's why I like using the dry erase boards for our writing lessons. So at first, they're writing numbers 1 through 10. And then by the time they leave kindergarten, they're writing numbers 1 through 20. That's what they should be writing. So that is how we start off our lessons. Now I want to move on to show you the inside of our workbook and our notebooks that we use for kindergarten. I'm going to bring the camera a little closer now. Okay, so here we are with our kindergarten writing workbook and our notebooks that we use for kindergarten. So let me show you what it looks like. So this is the kindergarten workbook, and it starts off really simple. The goal of this book is to get children writing their own phonetic sentences by the time they leave kindergarten. And so let me show you how it starts off with. It starts off with just writing the uppercase and the lowercase letters, a review of that. They should have covered that in preschool. And then it moves on to working on the most common word families. And they're just copying over, which is a great introduction to writing, just copying consonant, vowel, consonant, CVC words. And they're working on the most common word families for a while. Then the next step up is they are working on their own phonetic writing. So now they're looking at a picture and they're writing it. So cat, cat, and they're writing it. And they're still working with word families. So it is a step harder. They were writing before copying, and now they're writing their own phonetic words. They'll be doing that for some time as they cover those words. Then they're going to move on to now writing sentences, and this is copying sentences. So it takes it a step further. They were copying words before. Now they're copying sentences. They'll do that for some time. And then they're going to move on to dictation. Dictation is a great exercise for children. They are listening to these sentences. So the teacher or the parent is reading it out loud to them, like the dog ran, a pig is pink, Matt sat on the mat, and the child is writing it. They're listening. They're working on those listening skills. They're working on their phonetic writing as they are writing these down. And they're also drawing a picture, which is a great keepsake. And you can keep these books, and they're just so fun to look back at, looking at their funny pictures. But they are listening to those sentences and writing on their own. So it meets the goal of the kindergarten year, where they're leaving the kindergarten year writing their own phonetic sentences. It goes in a progression to get them to this point. So I think it's a great workbook that meets the goal of the kindergarten year, writing their own phonetic sentences. Then we have a couple of notebooks that we use. So we have the one that I told you with the name. So the child writes her name every day, and I give her a sticker just once a day. Again, we're first working on that first name. Then we're going to work on the last name as we go progressing through the year. So that they're leaving the year writing their full first and last name. Let's move on to the next one. So here, the child is working on letters. So we do have a letter order that we use for kids. And they're starting off with just uppercase letters, just writing one letter a day. As they go on, they're going to start writing the uppercase and the lowercase letters. And they'll do that for some time. Then they start working on writing the letters in order. So A, B, C, D, E, F in order. And they're writing A through Z. And I split the lessons into 2 days. So one day they're doing half of the alphabet. The other day they're doing the other half. So it's not overwhelming and it's not too taxing on the child. So we'll do that for some time. We also do practice on letter reversals. So the B, the D, and the P are letters that they reverse. So we do activities like this where they're practicing just these particular letters so that they can practice. Then we go back to practicing lowercase and uppercase because we want the child to be able to distinguish what those uppercase and lowercase letters look like and recognize uppercase and lowercase. And again, we do a lot of reversals, practice. The B and the D's are something that they reverse. So we practice a lot of those. And that is how the workbook goes on and on. We practice letters the child needs to practice. And I have little activities here like B has a belly, D has a bum, and P has a head. And that way they practice their B, the D's, and the P's. Then we go back to practicing those uppercase and lowercase letters for a while, and the book goes on and on like that. It's a notebook. Then let me show you, look inside of this notebook. This is a numbers notebook, and here the child is writing their numbers, just one a day. And I have little rhymes that I have for the child. One long skinny man, and I have a little picture. This is the number 2, a candy cane with a tail. And I have little rhymes for each one. And that way they're able to memorize it. I went over it in our preschool course, our little rhymes. So they'll do 1 through 10 for a while. For the first portion of this notebook, they're just doing 1 through 10. And they're just doing one number a day. Some days I'll have them write 1 through 10 all at once. And then some days I'll just have them write that one number a day. And again, some days I'll have them write 1 through 10 all at once. Then as we progress, we're going to move on now to writing those numbers 1 through 10 in order and also backward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So they'll do that for some time. And then we start moving on to from 11 through 20 because you want them to be able to write 11 through 20 as well. So you want them to leave kindergarten writing numbers 1 through 20. We'll do that for a while. Then we'll move on to writing the numbers in order and then backward, like 20, 19, 18, 17, and 16, 15, and so on. So that is our writing notebook, our letters notebook, our names notebook. And you don't have to use them all at once every single day. You can alternate. It depending on your child's attention span. And then here's our writing workbook, which we do use every day. And it is small, so you will finish it before the end of the year, and then you can focus on these other notebooks as well. And I think it's a great combination for teaching kindergarten writing. So we hope you have enjoyed this video on kindergarten writing. If you've missed our literacy video or if you've missed our math video, I'll link that below in the description box. And if you want to get any of these resources like the kindergarten writing workbook, I'll link it below. I have it in 2 formats. For those that are abroad and you can't get books on Amazon, I have them in download form, and I'll link that below. And I also have it on Amazon, so very simple. Also, if you want to get a preschool book, I have a preschool writing book as well. And this one is going to take the child through the letter order that I mentioned before. And it's going to go through uppercase, lowercase, and numbers 1 through 10 as well. So it's just a great book. And Gabby got to finish that last year for her preschool year, and I think it's a great book for learning how to write letters and numbers. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next video. Say bye, Gabby.
Bye.
Bye.